Hey, I'm Scott Belding, and you're watching ARTBEAT. Come with us while we discover the arts in Contra, Costa County. Let's meet the artists who make this a beautiful place to live. This is brought to you by the Arts and Culture Commission of Contra, Costa County. Thank you for joining us today on ARTBEAT. We have what I think is a really cool show. We're going to meet Jan Weiss, who is a traditional artist, a digital artist, and someone who understands how to take art to the marketplace. And then we're going to go inside El Morocco restaurant to discover some of the mysteries of the Orient, where we'll meet Yosifah Rose and we'll meet Khalilah. You know, these are very challenging times in the state of California, and I think that probably a great example of that is that just like fine wine, it happens when the grapes are stressed. And it's just the same thing that happens with artists. When things get difficult, they reach deep inside of themselves and create very beautiful art. I feel very fortunate. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, and coming home here to the Bay Area, to Contra Costa County, this is where beautiful things happen. Join us today while we meet the artists that make this a beautiful place to live. Well, we're here today with Jan Weiss, an artist in Martinez. It's nice to be with you today.
Thank you.
Jan is both a traditional artist, a digital artist, and really an expert in bringing art to the marketplace. I read something about you, and it said that what you really like to do is bring order to chaos, and that you had spent a lot of time collecting old things and bringing them back to life.
Right, what I've done, I spend a lot of time at antique stores getting old postcards, and especially the ones with letters on them. And what intrigued me was that 80 or 90 years ago, somebody was holding this postcard and writing a letter and to somebody they loved. And all the messages there on the postcard. And then many, many years down the line, I get to have that piece of their history. So it's not really the content, but to be able to work that into a collage and to see... and
the texture.
The texture, right. And then for people to see that script of this old love letter. It's in a collage, and usually I'll start on a substrate I like working on wood because it's very forgiving. You can pound it and sand it and peel everything off and start over again, and it doesn't fall apart like canvas does. I might use old postcards, and then I like to use text from newspapers or magazines. I really, really like a lot of letters and numbers in there. And then textured paper. Could be handmade paper or like the mulberry papers that have kind of fibers in them. Then I will assemble these pieces. Even just random little like stamps or even bingo cards or something that'll be kind of placed into that. And I like to add something really modern. Maybe just even from a magazine or an ad that's very current or topical. Then I'll cover them all with a gel medium, and that holds everything together. When I finish a piece, I'll scan it in, and I'll drop it into Photoshop, and I'll crop it just right, the right size. It's usually standard sizes. And then so now I have a high-res file, and I can print those I can print them at home on an 8x10, like archival paper, or I can send them out to my printer, and I have various printers, and I'll just download the large high-res file, and I can make it then a poster from those pieces. For example, I did 4 martini pieces, and those were made as posters, which were successful to a degree, but not huge. But actually what ended up being more successful was that the martini pieces ended up on memo boards, which I saw at Target one day, which was pretty fun, because there was Targets all over the country. And then ballpoint pens, notepads, journals, alternative wall decor.
You also create digitally.
I am more successful at that right now than anything, than the other medium. And some people say it's not original art, but it is. It's just that is my paintbrush. Is a photograph original? And what part of a photograph is original? Is it what's inside the camera? Or is it what's actually printed out?
Sure.
So on my computer on Photoshop, I download these paintbrushes, and they make textures. So I've got a canvas now, I have a mouse, which is my paintbrush, and I create products. I've had pieces that people have asked me, they thought for sure they were watercolor pieces. I said, well, they're digital watercolor.
I would say that based on the tone and the response from you, that is probably where your passion lies right now.
Not that there isn't endless possibilities in the studio, and there is, but this is like, I just keep finding new paintbrushes to use and new textures, and I'm figuring out how to get my images really large, like 36 for 48 inches. I want to be able to create really large ones, because if you can create really large ones, I'm going to have buyers that might be looking for art for offices, lobbies,
hotel walls,
hotels.
Sure.
Yep. I mean, that is a great business. That's hospitality and healthcare, and I really want to be there.
I think that probably what most artists struggle with is how to get their work out of the studio, but they're not business people.
Really what they have to do first is they have to kind of let go of their ego and realize that it's okay, you're not selling out if you sell your art. They feel like their art is just maybe so precious or so close to them that they don't want to sell it. But it's like, well, do you want to pay your mortgage? Since mid-90s, I started working with an art publisher in Walnut Creek, and I learned the business side of art publishing. So then I was able then to take my art, and I realized how I can make money off of it. And then I would also end up helping, in turn, other artists, because so many artists are, like you said, they're stuck in the studio. They don't know how to make any money off it. There are several online galleries that you can upload your art, and you've got now a digital format to showcase your art. Right. There are sites like Etsy, which is a selling retail spot for handmade art. I mentor a lot of artists and help a lot of artists and provide information through online magazines. And I'm writing an ebook now about art publishing. So that is all about how to get your art out there and make some money off of it.
Can other artists contact you?
Of course. artprints-online.com. And my contact information is on that site.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure artists know how to find you, and hopefully you can guide someone else through this successful process.
Oh, I'd love to.
We're here at El Morocco Restaurant, and we're with Yosifah Rose, who is a musician and also the co-founder of Al Azafun. It's great to be with you. Hey, I was thinking today that you and I have known each other for about a decade. And when we first met, you were still dancing and introduced me to the world of Oriental dance. You've stopped dancing and you've transitioned exclusively into music.
Well, for me, as a dancer, in Rock Sharki, in the dance of the East, it was always about the music, becoming the music.
Yes.
And it isn't a dance of choreography, it's a dance of extemporaneous feeling the music and being it. And
oh, I love that.
in addition to being a dancer, I've always been a musician.
Right.
It was a natural transition for me in teaching the dance. I began really studying the music. It kind of became too difficult to do both. They're both the kind of passion that you give your life to.
Right. Well, you've studied a lot too. You have an extensive academic process associated to this.
That's how I approach everything in life. As a dancer, I just was never content just to feel the music. I had to know what made this music different than the dance music that we listen to on FM radio.
Well, I think what is really interesting to me is that you have a mission associated to this music, and
absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what your intent is?
It's peace. It's intercultural understanding and appreciation. Let's face it, peace in this world. We have yet to attain it. What really brings people together is enjoyment. When they enjoy a meal together, when they enjoy music together. You don't have to speak the same language, you don't have to have the same religion, but you can share that experience in a very positive way.
When you peel away the cultural layers, we are all one people.
That is absolutely the mission of our music.
Here at El Morocco, you have a home.
Yes, and this is home away from home here. We have a show here once a month. Play Arabic music, have dancers from all over the Bay Area come out to perform. We have teachers, professional dancers, and students. And just
it's an open dance night?
They sign up through me. Performers come out and dance to music, live music, when they're only used to dancing to CD, which is also a learning experience for these dancers. But just also the audience, young girls, little boys will get up and dance, grandmas, grandpas. We have people who have never heard Arabic music. They happen into the restaurant. They didn't know there would be live music.
How can they learn more about your music?
Well, our band has a website, and it's, of course, www.alazifun.com, ALAZIFOON. They can also look up my website, and that's, again, www.yosifah.com, YOSIFAH. And there's a link there with information about Dancers Night. I just invite the community to come out and enjoy the music. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing a little time with us.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you.
We're with Khalilah. We're still at El Morocco Restaurant. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Scott.
tonight is Dancers Night. Why don't we talk a little bit about your role as a dancer and Dancers Night and what that really means?
Well, Dancers Night here at El Morocco is the first Sunday of every month, one night a month. We have the pleasure of having live musicians and dancers who come in from around the Bay Area and beyond.
And this is, I would guess, an opportunity for you to give back a little bit now that you're dancing professionally 3, 4, 5 nights a week.
What's really nice about the Dancers Night is the sense of support that we all give each other. It's such a very warm and supportive place for a lot of people to dance, especially students, especially new dancers who maybe have never performed before, never performed live music. It's kind of the nicest, in my opinion, the nicest place to debut.
How did you get started in Oriental dance and rock sharky and belly dance?
I started very randomly. A friend of mine decided that we should take a class together, just go out and have fun one night a week. And so we signed up for Yosifah's belly dance class in Lafayette. Just really had a wonderful time spending a couple of hours each week with other women, learning new music, learning about a new culture.
Yosifah mentioned the authenticity about being one with the music, one with the movement, and in an environment that's like this, you're really entertaining people. How do you marry those two concepts? What is that like for you?
Well, it's a very natural thing because this dance is a social dance. Unlike ballet or a stage production, although there are stage productions of belly dance, knowing the music, learning the culture and the moves is one part of it, but it's really about the interaction between the dancer and the musicians and the audience especially. It's a much more enjoyable experience for me, being able to work with the energy of the musicians and having it be more spontaneous. It's just more fun. It brings much more joy for me. The CD performances, they're fun. They can look more polished because you know what's coming in the music, but it can feel a little staged and sometimes a little stale. So each musician plays a classic song a different way. So you always get a new interpretation, even of an old song.
Where did you come by Khalilah?
Khalilah was given to me.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. It was given to me by a friend who was studying Arabic at the time, and the meaning is either beloved or dear one. So it's a unique name.
I had the good fortune of photographing you throughout the years. I've seen a lot of costumes.
I have a lot of costumes.
And I'm familiar with the name Bella because I've seen so many notes that says, oh my, the Bella's going to arrive today.
I know, it's so exciting when a new Bella comes. Bella is a designer from Turkey. She does just beautiful handmade original costumes. No costume is the same as any other costume out there. The different designers really give different things for the dance to help accentuate the dance and bring it together for an audience.
You're getting to do some pretty interesting gigs these days. The De Young Museum. Tell us about that.
I was lucky enough to perform at the King Tut exhibit with a friend of mine, Amira, who's a beautiful, beautiful Egyptian-style dancer. It was a much different production, very grand scale, and the audience was wonderful. There were a lot of tourists and people who maybe weren't expecting to see a belly dance show, and then they got to enjoy and experience that. I won the Jewel of the Sierra belly dance competition. South Lake Tahoe is the first one. The Costa West is next weekend. It's, I believe, the largest belly dance festival, at least on the West Coast. I am performing. I'm performing with a live band from Seattle.
And if listeners want to know more about you, how to book you,
How to book me.
because you do parties, you do nightclubs.
I do. I do weddings, parties, corporate events. KahlilaRocks.com. It's www and then KHALILAHRAKS.com.
Nice to see you. Thank you for taking
Nice
the
to
time to
see
sit
you.
with us.
Thank you. My pleasure.